Hey guys, welcome to LEDA Day 27, and given that I am writing my final actuarial exam in 1 week, assuming that I pass, and also given that someone asked the question, I thought it could be fun today to talk about the differences between preliminary and advanced actuarial exams because I have done them all. Well, I've written like 9 actuarial exams out of 10, so I know that the SOA and the CAS are in the process of changing the whole exam structure, and so the things that I say might not be true anymore because blah 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 blah, they change everything, but we can still talk about them because why not? It's fun. We like talking about actuary nonsense. We love talking about exams. Get a group of actuaries together and all they're going to talk about is exams. It's just going to happen. That's all we do. That's our lives. Anyway, okay. The biggest difference in my mind between the preliminary exams and the advanced exams is the fact that the preliminary exams were multiple choice exams and the advanced exams are written. So the preliminary exams, they're not multiple choice in the sense of like, you know, is this an A, toothpick, B, flower, C, potato? Like, no, it's not, they're not easy choices. But they're long and mathy, and then there's one final answer, and the answer is right, and then you just choose that answer. Or, you know, if you do your calculations and then your answer is not one of the four or five, did they give 5 options? 4 or 5 options. Guys, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. If your answer is not one of those answers, you know you did something wrong. The trouble is that sometimes because they don't just choose like, okay, the right answer is 50, so let's put 60, 70. No, they go through the calculations. They're like, we anticipate people will make mistakes here, here, and here. So those are the other options. So they're trying to trap you a little bit, so hopefully you don't fall into their little traps. But I found that it was a lot more structured in the fact that there was a right answer and a wrong answer. In the advanced exams, you don't have that. A lot of the time, the questions don't have a right answer. We have access to all the past exams through to like the year 2000-ish. So I can see what all the exam questions are and I have all the solutions. And what happens is they give you sample solutions for the questions. And obviously, like if it's a basic question where they're asking something, you know, there's a yes or no or whatever, maybe there's a right answer. But a lot of the time they'll give you like, okay, here's sample solution A, here's sample solution B, here's sample solution C, and they're entirely different. Like, if it's a math one, sometimes their end result, the end number, is different, like entirely different. Because the thing about being an actuary, and this is something that I didn't realize when I started started trying to become an actuary, is that there's no right or wrong answer when you're an actuary. Sometimes there is. If you're trying to do 2 times 2, it's going to be 4. But they say, you know, if you give 5 different actuaries the same data, you're going to get 5 different answers because everyone's making different assumptions, and being an actuary is a lot of what you're doing is making assumptions, checking and sort of validating that they make sense. And as long as you can justify your assumptions, like, that's good. You know, your answer is right because what you're trying to do is estimate something that hasn't happened yet. So it's not like an accounting class where you're adding up things that have already been paid. What you're doing is you're trying to estimate future costs and how much insurance is going to cost us in the future. And so because a lot of what you're doing is guesswork, not guesswork, but as long as you can justify what you're doing on your upper level exams, you're gonna get points for it. You know, like sometimes it's as simple as, you know, here I chose to do a straight average, here I chose to do a weighted average, here I chose to exclude outliers from my data because they didn't seem like they made sense, and so I didn't want to bias my data. But it could be, you know, anything. It can waver all over the place. I was just doing questions where like here we're using, you know, if you assumed incurred payments versus, or incurred loss versus paid loss versus if you assume that you pay taxes as they happen, or if you only pay taxes at the end of the year, or if you're compounding continuously, or if you assume you're compounding annually or semi-annually. Like, you can do all sorts of crazy wild stuff when you're an actuary, and it's all about learning how to make those judgment calls, look at the data and say, what is it trying to tell me? And that can be a little bit disconcerting. Concerning? Is that a word? I need to learn English, guys. I need to learn English. But yeah, that's just something that kind of struck me. Also, the amount of information that you need to learn for the advanced exams is considerably larger. Like, I feel like I was overwhelmed with P and FM. And if you're feeling overwhelmed with P and FM, absolutely normal. I did it every exam. If anyone asks me what was the hardest exam, it's always the one that I'm currently studying for. And then as soon as it's over, you're like, psh, that was easy. This next one is the hard one. That's how I always feel. So like P and FM were really hard, but then the amount of information and the size of your study manual just gets larger and larger and larger. And now, I mean, I have stacks. Like, I just have tons of stuff that I need to learn. And so when you're learning for the preliminary exams, I found that to be a lot easier because you're learning the math. And so if you understand how to manipulate the numbers, like, you're good, you're golden. They can try to be tricky about it, and they definitely manage to trick me many a time. They can try to be tricky about it, but they're just you have to understand how to play with the numbers and you're good. But you don't have to understand the why behind it. You don't have to really know the proofs, and you don't need to know proofs in the advanced exams either. Proofs, sometimes, but with the advanced exams, a lot of the time a lot of what they're trying to make you do is understand the underlying assumptions. So what they'll say is they'll ask you, okay, what method would you use in this situation? In which situations is this method better than this method? And what are we assuming here? Are we assuming, blah, 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 blah? Because everything, we can't predict perfectly. We can't forecast perfectly. What we do is we have to simplify the world down in order to make our forecasts, and in those simplifications come assumptions, and what you want is something that is robust, meaning even if the assumptions change, your answer at the end is probably still going to be valid. So that's kind of a fun difference. Another difference between the preliminary exams and the advanced exams is the frequency with which they are offered. So the advanced exams, for the CAS at least, they're offered, so the advanced exams are offered last week of April / first week of May, and then last week of October / first week of November. 2 out of the 5 advanced CAS exams are offered twice a year, and the other 3 are offered once a year, meaning that if I fail my exam, I can't rewrite it until next May, which is like annoying. Whereas with the preliminary exams, with PNFM, they're offered every 2 months. MFE, I think, is 3 or 4 times a year. C, I think, is also 3 or 4 times a year. So the preliminary exams are offered a lot more often because there are a lot more people writing them. And also because there are more people writing them, there are a lot more resources available for the preliminary exams. Because if you've got, a few thousand people writing an exam or a few hundred people writing an exam, a lot of the companies will say, let's focus our attention on the few thousand because we'll get more people buying our study manuals. So you have a lot of resources that we don't have. This is also due to the fact that the syllabus for preliminary exams is a lot more stable. Now, I know, again, they're changing the syllabus for a few of the exams, but I think they're mostly just shifting stuff around. There will be new material and it will be challenging at the beginning, but for the advanced exams, the syllabus changes quite dramatically sometimes. Like, they will take off a whole bunch and add a whole bunch of new stuff, and you just have 0 problems to practice with. all you do is just like, yeah, hope for the best and pray. Yeah. Now, another thing that's different between the preliminary exams and the advanced exams is the length of the exam. Depending on what exam you're writing, and obviously, like, if you're not doing SOA CAS exams, this is not going to be true, or it might not be true. I don't know how long they are in other countries, but for us, the preliminary exams were all 3-hour exams, and for the advanced exams, for me, they're all 4-hour. In the SOA, I think they have 5- and 6-hour exams, which is a lot, and they recommend 100 hours of studying per hour of exam, so is a lot. I've been studying for 4 months for this exam, and it eats up your life, and that's something that is not a difference, because it's the same. Every single exam eats into your soul, some exams more than others. My least favorite exam has to be CAS exam 6C. That was terrible, because that one is a really terrible exam because it's all about regulation and laws and accounting stuff. And not that it's not valuable, but it's so theory dense and not backed by math. Whereas in the other exams, you've got a lot of theory, but theory surrounding math. Whereas when you're learning laws and regulations, a lot of the time it's just laws and regulations, and you just have to memorize the bullet points. And another real problem with 6C is that because it's a regulation-based exam, there's 6 US and 6C, so the C stands for Canada. And if you just take a guess, do you think there are more people writing 6C or 6 US? 6C. 6C gets no resources. All the study manual companies make resources for 6 US, and we're just like off on our own to just pray. So, it's fun, but yeah, you gotta put a lot of effort into it. And I feel like it's really challenged me to learn how to learn. And a lot of the time in my live streams or in my videos, people will ask me questions about actual things on exams. I'm like, I don't remember how to do an actual exam, like the preliminary exams. If you gave me FM today, I don't think I would pass it, and I'm okay with saying that I don't think I would pass it. If you said, Michelle, can you study for 2 weeks and see if you can pass it? I would say, maybe. I'd probably want a month, but I don't think I would have to restudy the whole thing, because one of the things that these exams are really teaching you is one, what's available to know, 2, where to look for resources, 3, it'll make it easier for you to relearn it the next time you need to know it, and 4, it just teaches you how to learn in general. And I really like the fact that it just forces you to think. Like, if nothing else, I am learning how to think. And I have people, I get in conversations, and sometimes I'm really negative about it, and people are like, we hate exams, we need to find a better way, they're just acting as a barrier of entry into the profession, and it's not actually challenging enough, or it's not worth it. Like, the amount of time and energy is not worth the amount of knowledge that you get afterwards. And there's definitely an argument to that, but I see incredible value in learning how to learn. I see incredible value in knowing some of the things on these exams. Do I think I needed to do it 10 times? Do I think if someone said, Michelle, would you want your FCAS today and not to have to write your exam next week, would I take it? Yeah, I would take it. I would just be like, you're gonna give it to me? Okay, cool. Let me just draw my study manual over there, because I'm gonna write my exam next week. It's gonna be an experience, and pass or fail, I don't have to study again until next year, because like we said, I can only write it again next year. Let's see, what have people been saying in the comments? Nick said, hey, good time today. It was late last night. Yeah, that's because I went to Zumba. I went to Zumba after work, so I was home late, but now I'm on a study day, so it's only 3 p.m. Normally I'd be at work right now. Sandesh says, hello, Michelle. Hello. And Martha says, just casually in class, but I made it. Pay attention in class. Greg says, woot, I made it. Woot, you did. And Dylan says, hi. Hi, Dylan. Martha says, quick question. I just started looking into becoming an actuary not too long ago, so I'm not too sure, but technically speaking, if I wanted to start taking the preliminary exams now, could I? Yes, you definitely could before starting university. However, would I recommend it? Starting early is probably, like, if I could have started earlier, would I have loved it? Probably, but it eats up a lot of your soul. It eats up a lot of your time. And, like, sure, like, you can. If you've taken calculus and you've taken stats, go for it. Live your truth. Do it. Have fun. Or don't. You could. Just, I don't know. I'm really good at advice today, guys. Really good. Solid. Shiraj says, hi, enjoying 2 weeks of no studies. Ah, I'm jealous. You are just teasing me because you know that I'm sitting around studying all day, except for when I went for a walk. I just went for an hour walk outside because it's so beautiful out today and sunny and gorgeous, and that's why I'm wearing my hot pink. And I have hot pink shoes, and I looked really cool walking around in the sunshine. Don't worry, I'm wearing sunscreen because, in case you can't tell, I'm the kind of person who goes from white to tomato to freckle. White, tomato, freckle. Those are my only 3 options. There is no tan unless it's fake tan. I should do that. There's part of me that wants to make a YouTube video and call it like fakeifying myself or something like that, and get a fake tan and fake nails and fake eyelashes, and I don't know what else I could fake, but like just fakeify myself. Oh, maybe hair extensions, except that my hair is already really long, so I feel like I don't need fake hair. Yeah. Maybe I just like get a wig and bleach my hair blonde, like a bleach blonde wig and tan. Oh, that'd be so weird. Could you imagine? Like every day I wake up and I look at myself in the mirror and I look kind of like myself. But if I woke up with a tan, that'd be bizarre. I've never seen that. Anyway, this was totally off topic. Food Time says, what resources did you use to study for FM? I used the ASM manual, and I had taken a class at university beforehand, so that really helped, having taken a class beforehand. Sharad says, good luck next week. You'll do fine. Thank you for believing in me. That makes one of us, because I don't believe in me. Food Time says, OMG, do the fakeifying video. Maybe. I'm a little scared. Okay, so fake nails just sounds really uncomfortable. Like, I hate having long nails. And then there's part of me that really doesn't want fake eyelashes though, because I think even though I have long eyelashes, I want more eyelashes. And yeah, we'll see. Oh, it's gonna be a terrible, maybe it'll happen. No one knows. James says, good luck. Thank you. Greg says, does your work give you time to study? Yes, I'm supposed to be studying right now. It's 3 p.m. on like a weekday, so I should be at work or on a study day, but I'm on a study day. I get 15 study days for this exam, plus the day of the exam. That's 3 weeks off, but I take them so starting 3 months before, I'll start doing 1 day a week, and then I'll go to 2 days a week, of days off. Sandra says, did you take coaching classes for the 9 actuarial exams you passed? No. So in university, I had classes that prepared me for P, FM, and MLC before I had taken them. I had no classes that prepped me for MFE. For C, I wrote the exam before I took the classes because I wasn't going to wait for them to teach me stuff. And then for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, I was entirely self-taught. Plus, whatever my coworkers help me learn, because sometimes I'm like, I don't understand. Can you explain this to me, please? That's something that's really nice about the upper level exams, is that because they're offered only twice a year, everyone who's writing those exams is writing them at the same time. So you get a big group of people writing. If you're in a group of people who are, are full of actuaries. If you're not around a bunch of actuaries, then you're not. But like, I have a bunch of actuary friends, and so we're all hanging out together, and so we all study together. Like, how many of us are writing for my work? We're probably at least a good, like, 6 to 10 people from my office who are writing this exam. So that's fun. Mancinelli's Math Lab says, good luck next week. Last one then? That's exciting. Yes. When are you writing your next exam? I've been seeing you've been posting P tutorial questions. That's cool. I don't know. I think people are going to love your channel. I'm really excited about it. I linked it in one of my live streams. Everyone should go to your channel. I'll link it again. If you guys need help with P and FM, I'm going to link Mancinelli's Math Lab eventually. Food Time says, do you know if there's any good online classes for FM? It just said. YouTube channel, free. In terms of like actual resources that you can like pay for, I don't know. I know people like coaching actuaries. I know people like TIA. I didn't use them for P or FM. Oh, you asked about FM. Either way. TK says, I made it, watching it secretly at work in my cube. Do your job. No, I'm kidding. You should be here. Super important to be here. We're learning lots of things. I'm normal. I'm so excited that it's warm out today. Maybe I'll go for another walk later. I feel like walking is just so good for you. It just puts you in a good state of mind. Like when your brain is all fuzzy from studying too many hours consecutively, I like going for a walk, and then it just calms me down, and I come back and I can focus for a little bit, and then I stop and I live stream. That's what happened. I studied all morning. I woke up, what time did I wake up? Probably like 6:30? I don't know. Shiraj says, MJ, the student actuary for FM, although it's more for UK exam CT1. Yeah, he definitely has videos that are on FM topics, but it's not geared towards, it's definitely not geared towards FM specifically. TK says, I don't really care about actuary stuff, but I enjoy the live streams. That's okay. Listen, I don't really care about actuary stuff, but, you know, I am one, so I pretend like I care. No, I care. It's my life. Oh gosh. Martha says, you should check out the Bay. They're giving out free mimosas. Why are they giving out free mimosas? That's so random. Like, I would if I were at work, but I'm at home, so I'm not going downtown today. But maybe later. Maybe another day. If they're doing it again. Greg says, I will sub Mancinelli's I can't pronounce your name. Why is your username so complicated? I will sub Mancinelli's Math Lab as I'm working on P as we speak, but I gotta go. This is great. Keep live streaming. You will do great on the exam. Thank you. And thank you for supporting other actuarial YouTubers. Soon we're gonna have like an actuary club, and it's gonna be actuarially awesome. Food Time says, it would be so cool to see you do a day in the life of an actuary video. See, like, everyone wants this, but like, I 0% want to do this. Like, nothing about me, no, nothing about me wants to film my day. Like, I'm definitely not allowed to film at work. I can't film my job. Like, it's confidential. Shirley says, is it possible to have a part-time job, take a summer class, and study for an exam? Yes, it's possible. Do you also want sleep? Do you also want sanity? I don't know. It depends on how part-time is part-time in terms of your job. What class is it? If it's like a painting class, I think it's more doable. Not that painting is easy, but just that it uses a completely different part of your brain. Like for me, if I'm learning math over here, and then you say, Michelle, learn more math over here, I find it hard because I can't switch between one and the other as easily. But like, if I'm learning math over here, and then I'm doing painting over here, and I have like stuff to do for each. When I'm bored of one, I can switch to the other. Whereas you can't really jump from one math to the other because you're balancing math with math, and my brain's like, whoop, need to click off. So I think it depends on how many hours your job is, what kind of a class it is, and which exam it is. And also how much time you want to spend with friends. Because I think summer is a good time to spend with friends and be outside, and yeah. That's on you. But that's my advice. Make your decisions based off of what you value. Can I be more vague and useless? Probably. TK says, I want a gin and tonic. You said you were at the office. No drinking at the office. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't drink, but if I did, I could use one. This is water, because it's hydration. John says, how to bring up your GPA, get better grades. That was an easy one. Also, a rude answer. Bad me, being rude. I don't know. So I had the unfortunate problem of having straight A pluses my first year. And so I started with the high GPA, and so I never had to worry about it. So I'm not the best person. I'm really bad at, like, being relatable a lot of the time. Sorry. Sandesh says, will you be live next Thursday, the day before your exam, maybe for a short time? Like, possibly. I will be home because I'm taking a study day next Thursday, and I don't generally study on the day before. I'll probably, like, definitely 100%, I will be taking a bubble bath the day before my exam, because I always take a bubble bath the day before my exam because it de-stresses me. What I might also do is schedule a massage, because that'll also just be relaxing, and also studying, like, kills my shoulders because I'm sitting around like this, and then because of the way your neck is positioned and whatnot, it, like, pulls on my neck, and then my shoulders hurt and everything hurts, so I might go for a massage the day before my exam. And yeah, maybe I'll live stream. I love live streaming. Or maybe I'll just film a whole bunch of non-live stream videos so that I have some, like, non-live stream content to put up on my channel once I'm done with LEDA. Oh my gosh, you guys, can you imagine? Can you imagine non-live stream content going up on my channel? People have been leaving some decent suggestions for videos on my other videos, and so I've been writing them all down. Like, I don't always do things quickly, that's for sure, but I keep a list in my, I have a Google Doc with just video ideas, and I keep writing them down and adding, like, sneakily adding stuff to my list. So I have a bunch of video ideas that I'll maybe do eventually, or they'll just end up never getting filmed. Depends, but I have lots of good ideas for lots of videos, and lots of them are non-actuary videos, because I can't talk about actuary all the time. I just can't do it. I just can't. I can't only be an actuary. I gotta be someone else. Like Fitness Barbie. You guys, this is what fitness looks like. I did Zumba yesterday. We already discussed that yesterday. Moving on. John Pablo says, good luck on your exam. Thank you. How do I get better at mathematics? I really like stats. Get a tutor. I think I used to be a peer tutor, and I think that they definitely bring value. Like, generally a peer tutor is inexpensive, like $15 an hour. That's not a ton. And they could just help you understand the topics better. It's someone who's taken the class, understands the material-ish, knows how to pass it. Like, that'd be my advice. Sandy says, is it usual for companies to offer study days for their student actuaries? Yes, if your exam is during your internship. Like, if your internship ends in May and then your exam's in June, I would say probably not. But if your internship ends in May and your exam's in April, probably. I think in general, it's like, from what I've seen, it's about 50% of the study days that a full-time employee would get, prorated to the amount, like, when it is in your internship. So, like, you know, if a full-time employee would get 8 study days, you would get 4 study days, but if it's halfway through your internship, then you'd only get 2 of the study days, because it'd be half of the half. And if it was, like, at the end of your internship, you'd get all 4. general rule of thumb. Sharaj says, LEDA has been awesome. And Rudolph says, what does LEDA even mean? Live stream every day in April. Live stream. That's what we're doing now. Every, like all of them, day, calendar day in Eastern Standard Time from midnight to midnight. April, the month, the 4th month of the year in the calendar with which I am using reference. Every day in April. All the days. Food Time says, do you think someone who has a stat degree would have to pass more exams to be an equal contender to someone who has an actuarial degree? No. I don't. I think if you've passed 2 exams, you've passed 2 exams. YOLO. I think you bring different perspective, but like, it's all good. Listen, the amount that I learned on the job versus the amount that I learned in my actuarial degree is just not even comparable. Like, this is how much I learned at university. This is how much I learned on the job. And I have an actuarial degree. Like, it's just not the same. Food Time says, you should do LEDA live stream every day in May. So here's the thing, right? Is when I'm posting videos every single day, I'm already not getting that many views. Like, my videos are getting 1 to 200 unless I put actuary in the title, then they get a little bit more. Because I'm posting every single day. If I was live streaming every single day, when would I post regular content? Because like not all my content lends itself to live streams. And also, I like making regular filmed videos too, and I can't be posting 2 videos a day because then they'd be getting even less views. And then, are you just trying to kill my channel? Is that what you're trying to do? Live stream every day in May. You crazy. Maybe I'll do LEDA in August because that starts with A too. See, if I were smart, what I would do is all these live streams and then also pre-film like good quality videos. We put these in quotes because we've seen my other videos. Good is a very loose term, but I haven't been. Sharaj says it's the Gregorian calendar. I will have to take your word for it. But that sounds about right. I trust you. I defer to you on the calendar. I'm fun. Yeah. I don't know. What should we do? What do you think? Like, I have some ideas for how I could topic other live streams, but if you guys have any suggestions or things that you really want to think we should topic it, or because you guys know I'm really bad at titling these live streams. It's not my strong suit. This one's not so bad. This one should get the clicks. And it's not clickbait because I did spend the first 10 minutes talking about the topic and then I just ramble on about whatever we feel like talking about. But if you guys have any suggestions for what I should talk about in my last ones, you can tweet at me at LLTweet. Sanjesh says, how you got the idea of creating a channel? Are you asking me that now, or are you saying that's what one of my future live streams should be about? Because I'll tell you. I don't know. The same way everyone got the idea. Just by watching other people and being like, I can do that too. I'm just as awesome as they are. Look at all this awesomeness. Mancinelli's Math Lab says, I'm taking MFE in November, feel kind of guilty for taking a break, but the company I interned for in June doesn't want me studying. What kind of BS is that? Any idea about that? Is that an actuarial company who doesn't want you writing exams? That seems suspicious. I've never been at a company who told me not to write exams, but YOLO, I guess. And don't feel guilty about taking a break. I wrote my exams at a pace of 2 exams per year, and you've already passed 2 exams this year, if I remember correctly. I think you said you passed 2 exams this year. Like, that's the rate that I went at. So if you passed the one in November, then that's 3 exams this year, which is more than I've ever passed in a calendar year. Food Time says, these videos are honestly so helpful. I'm glad you think so, because, yeah. Oh, it's Mancinelli. Well, you know what? Now I know. And I will forget the next time. I'm gonna forget. I promise. I'm really bad at knowing things and also remembering and also being normal. Okay, well, this has been a fun little study break. I'm gonna go back to learning some things about some stuff and doing practice problems and crying. No tears. No tears. Wipe away them tears. Just motivation. Just motivation. Okay, we're gonna do our motivation dance. I don't know what that was, but I'm really glad it's on the internet. If you like this video, thumbs it up, subscribe to see more of my face, as we just described, because apparently when I say LEDA, y'all just don't understand what I'm saying. Live stream every day in April, even tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream, okay? What's my hair doing? We don't know. It just is. It just is, okay? Okay? All right, well, thank you for calling. Bye. See ya later.